Hi, I'm Milagros Pacheco, and I'm reporting from USA 9 with Andrea McCarren. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Millie?
Good, thank you. We just have a couple questions today. As a reporter of USA 9, what does a typical day look like for you?
Oh, that's a good question. There is no such thing as a typical day. We come in at 3 o'clock, the night shift. We work primarily for the 11 p.m. show. And we never know if we're going to race right out on breaking news or if we're going to drive an hour or two away and do a nice story in some rural area. We just don't know.
Before DC, you were working in Georgia, Kansas, Miami. What was the transition like when you came to DC?
Oh, I love a reporter who does her homework. I'm really impressed. DC, as you can tell, is very, very different. The news is very different because obviously you have the White House, the government based here, so national stories are local for us. Yesterday was a great example. We did a national or international story on 10 Russian secret agents who were arrested, 3 of them in the DC area. So you really have to know a little bit about a lot of different subjects.
What are some of the challenges you face with the speed of technology and multimedia nowadays?
Ooh, that's a great question. Some of the challenges, well, way back when Ratso and I went to college, I don't know about you, I never took a computer course. Never, ever. They weren't even available. And so now I'm doing everything on a laptop computer. Have not quite mastered editing on a laptop, but am basically able to edit a piece, a story in a booth. But the technology is so different, and the cameras have gone from these big broadcast cameras to the little ones, the size that you're using. And basically, just like you're doing right now, it's backpack journalism. You do a little bit of everything, but you have to do everything, which cuts down your ability to perfect either your reporting or your photography or your editing.
Speaking of backpack journalism, it's when a person has to do producing, editing, camera, everything. What do you think you gain or lose from backpack journalism?
Is this just for you here? As a reporter, by experience and years of reporting, with backpack journalism, I feel like I'm so focused on the equipment, making sure I get the sound right, which I often don't, making sure I compose the picture, get the right picture. I also carry a tape recorder. I have so much equipment to worry about that I'm not able to work the phones as often, working for trying to work sources and make extra calls or knock on more doors. You just can't because you have too much else to do. Plus, you're driving everywhere. And as you've probably found in the D.C. area, driving anywhere takes like 45 minutes minimally.
You've earned the Edward R. Murrow Award, 7 Emmys, and also a bunch of national and local honors. What are your recommendations for aspiring journalists out there?
Ooh, another very good questions, and I do really appreciate. Well, one of the first things is you do your homework before an interview, which is fantastic that you've done yours. Get an internship, or get multiple internships, because the best interns end up getting hired in entry-level positions. The other thing, if you want to report, say, or anchor, or be a news photographer, or be a multimedia journalist, which is what we call our backpack journalists, you want to start in a small town and then work your way up to bigger and bigger cities, because even if you want to be in New York, the #1 market in the country, you do not want to make mistakes. First of all, you probably wouldn't get a job there, but you don't want to make mistakes in a market that size.
Okay, thank you so much. That was great. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
My name is Millie. What is your day typically like for a producer?
Hectic, extremely hectic and chaotic, but always fun and interesting. And I love that at the end of my shift, I have instant gratification because I can see the end result come up on air for 30 minutes.
Great. What's one of the most interesting things that's happened here at the office?
Not so much interesting, but intense. I mean, we had the Pentagon shooter. Anytime there was the Metro anniversary, where there was a lot of focus on that. And then most recently, that's not directly related to us, but the Gulf oil spill. That for me, because I'm from Florida, has a little been trying, to say the least. Just every day tracking where it's at, and especially with the tropical storm Alex coming now, it's interesting every day and intense every day.
What's the networking atmosphere like around here in DC?
I can't say I know too much. As far as branching out, because I do a lot of my leads through the desk. So as far as networking, I've met other reporters from other places that have come here to work, but branching out to the other stations or making connections, for my role, that would be actually more of a segment producer that would do most of that for me, since I'm just daily news. I kind of hang out here.
How do you decide what your top stories are going to be for that day?
What's the most important story of the day? What's people talking about? Who it affects the most? And it usually tells itself. You know, some days it's harder than others to find a strong lead, but most days it just kind of falls in our lap, if we're lucky.
Great. Thank you so much for your help.
Thanks.
Thank you, Andrea. Reporting from USA 9, this is Milagros Pacheco.